Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to share my experience in this beautiful Indonesia trip that we did. So it was an Arhatic retreat. For those of you who know that, in pranic healing, we have this gathering of Arhatic yoga practitioners, or you can say people who've done Arhatic yoga. So we are being taught these higher meditations. So 3 days intensive. We do it with the acharyas. So acharyas are a designated people, or you can say my teacher, Master Choa. He identified eight disciples for his work. So these retreats are kind of gatherings that happen directly with these acharyas, and we are also shown, Master Chua's videos. So that is the only time you get to see Master Chua's videos directly on, the topics probably that are assigned for that retreat. So this retreat, it was called the spiritual materialism. So the topic was interesting. The retreat. So most of us, when we think of Indonesia, we think about Bali. But this particular retreat happened in a place called Solo. So Solo is like a commercial kind of a place, chilled vibes, a small place in Indonesia. And we had a 3 day retreat there. This was announced last year, and around November last year, I had already booked and made reservation for this retreat, which happened in August. So the first time when I came into pranic healing. So, slowly and gradually, you get insight into what is happening during the retreat. So, initially, we only knew that the retreats are happening locally. Okay. So, it's like in India, you get to explore these retreats, which happen like in two places during a year. So, you can attend that. So, initially, when I started off in 2013 was my first retreat. So, I attended it in Bangalore. And then one I did in uh, Mumbai in 2014, and then we had in Delhi in 2016, or maybe it was 20, yeah, one in Varanasi also. So yeah, these four retreats I did in India. And then we slowly, you get to know about these retreats that are happening across the world, across the globe. So in India, when they do these retreats, these are like huge events. You have so many people as part of these retreats. But then, I decided that I'll be doing one retreat with Master Co. So I'd gone to Greece to attend that. And it was a phenomenon, just learning directly from Master Co. For those of you who know, Master Co, probably you don't have access to him in India because he takes care of US and UK area. So most of the times, if you have to study with Master Co, you'll have to attend courses either in US or in UK. So I initially, when I came in pranic healing, we did not have a lot of online presence for pranic healing. Only Master Co was doing some of these sessions online. So, I used to get excited seeing his lectures, and there was so much that, there's so much in the energy world that you get to learn. So he had like this, yeah, he used to say, right, esoteric study groups, ESGs. So bite-sized information, 30 minutes, and he used to give a lecture on different topics. So it was very, very interesting. So I really got connected with Master Co, and then I got this opportunity to do it in Greece. And once I did that, it was like an intimate. So in India, you have these, 500, 600, 800, thousands of people doing the retreat. So it is not a very private kind of an affair. But, when you travel abroad, you have more access to the teachers. Plus, the group is small. And then the teachings, there is more liberty in what they can share in a global retreat. So this particular Indonesia retreat I saw in 20, so it happened around 2016 or 2017. Samara was very small. So there was this, so when they were publicizing it, there was this beautiful monument. It's called the Temple of Borobudur. So this beautiful Buddhist architectural marvel, it's like a, if you see it, I don't know how many of you have seen that, but if you Google it, it's called Borobudur, and it looks like a Meru, or you can say 3D Sri Yantra, kind of, when you look at it. But they call it like a mandala. So it's the largest Buddhist temple in the world, and it looks like a mandala. Any of you who've seen it, I know Smita and Shivali, were part of that. So, you can just Google and see that. It's just amazing. Probably, the advert that I made, you have. Uh, so there was something about this in 2017 that I really, I wanted to. I did put an inquiry, and then Samara was too small. I could not take her along with me for that. So it just, ended there. And then, like last year again, the same Borobudur came up, and I was like, I should not let go of this opportunity, because there was some calling kind of a feeling that came, you know. So I was like, okay, uh, we'll make it happen. So I signed up for it, and 3 days in Solo, that's the place. But Borobudur is in another city called the Yogyakarta. So it's the, you can say, cultural and spiritual capital for Indonesia. And so when I booked that place, like it was like 3 days you have to go there, and then there was this special tour that they were doing for Borobudur. But somehow I felt that, we should go in early and explore Yogyakarta. So when I'm saying, somehow I thought probably interesting things are happening. So, there is, so when you're thinking, it's like somebody is just planting those thoughts in your mind, and you feel you're listening, or you feel that you're thinking, but I have no idea how does that happen. Um, you can't put it in words. So you're sitting and probably, you know that you have to go to this place. And then I started looking for properties and creating an itinerary, because after booking the retreat, I had to book my tickets. So I decided that, we'll go there around 4 to 5 days before the retreat, and explore Yogyakarta. And there was a lot that was there in Yogyakarta to explore, thankfully. So when I booked, I spoke with Sumita. I think we did it together. So Sumita was also part of that booking, and we did it together. And then my friend Shivali, she also joined us. So around 4 days in Yogyakarta. And I did not have a set itinerary. Just I had booked a property to stay in Yogyakarta based on an Indian restaurant that was right there at the, in the hotel itself. So that was the deciding thing, that, and I wanted to bring along my daughter. This time I was very sure, because last time when I had gone to Bhutan, she missed me so much. And then I just decided I'm not going to go alone. I'll take her along with me. So it was Samira and myself, and I had made it very clear in the, to the organizers also, that I'll be bringing my daughter, and we were pretty sure how it is going to happen. And then, yeah, we flew like on second was our flight, and we left for Yogyakarta. And interestingly, um, so the itinerary was not created, and um, my friend Sumita, she had arranged for, our pickup. So Solo is another city, Yogyakarta is another city. So we had a flight till Solo, and from Solo we had to go to Yogyakarta. So we needed a car. So Sumita booked up a car, and we like last minute, my only concern, we had no itinerary as to what we'll do in Jakarta, but I just asked Sumita if somebody could pick us from Solo and take us to, the hotel where we were staying. We'll figure out the next day what we have to do. So she arranged for the driver, and when we landed there, and it was a long flight, very long flight, 15 hours, and hops at multiple airports. So we had Solo, then we had Singapore, then we had uh, Jakarta, and from Jakarta to नहीं, कैसे Delhi, Singapore, Jakarta, and then Solo. So it was a long flight where we have to change planes twice. But somehow, mine was already made up that we're doing it. And it happened. My daughter also, like she's 9 year old, but she could manage the long flights and the hops that we had. And we reached there, and I just saw the driver and the car, and I was like, this looks good. And if we can have him for another 4 or 5 days in Jojjakarta, it would be good. And so I'm just thinking about, all the conversation that I was having with Sumita and Shivali. So yeah, we reached on the way, like from the Solo airport, we were dropped to Mustika, and we initiated the discussion with the driver about, the trip, and we want to do some of the things because we did not have a fixed itinerary. So all of it kind of, started rolling, and we're like, okay. So uh, the blessings probably that I would want to do is a lot that has been, accumulated, or you can say, was received during our stay in Jojjakarta and the retreat also. It took me around 4 or 5 days just to assimilate all that happened. And, so there is this spiritual journey that is happening, then there is this personal life that is happening, and then there is professional life that is happening. So all of these are happening in parallel. Some of it is like, up and down, some of it is quite linear. So all of that has been, my journey for these past 6 months. And it is interesting how everything, all these lives separately can coexist and again create a thrill, create an excitement, create a gratitude, make you experience grace, even if, the other things are probably going through or rocking. So my work has been very hectic for last 6 months, and a lot of things are happening on the personal front also. But um, you're like, okay, but this is also going on. So it's really been, for me personally, I was looking forward to this trip. I don't know why, but I had a lot of excitement. I think my travels, they tend to open up things for me, and to be able to see things it gives a perspective for me personally. These trips that it's like you decide 1 year in advance, and so it was similar in this case also. Those of you who were part of the Bhutan trip, I shared a lot about that also. So, we had Indonesia, if you know, it's a land of like volcanoes, you have the sea, and then you have these old temples. So you had like I said, the UNESCO sites, two of these. One is called the Prambanan Temple, and the other one is called Temple of Borobudur, largest Hindu temple, and the second largest Hindu temple, and the largest Buddhist temple in the world. So these are, probably we've not heard much about these things. Uh, in India also, you have a lot of things. So, but yeah, when you go to a place, you start exploring about kya hai, kya hai, kya hai. So, these were the two places that probably, I was looking forward to. So the first day, we went to this active volcano, which is called Mount Merapi. I had heard a lot about it, and we had this beautiful tour to Mount Merapi. And we were kind of in the red zone. So it's an active volcano, recently erupted in September 2025, 2024. So, just, I don't know, as a child, I always wanted to experience these geographical situations, So I wanted to see a valley, a volcano, ocean, beach, beach and mountains and snow. So probably for me, volcano was my first. So it's my first ever volcano that I've seen. So I was very, very excited, just to see it. So I was told that, you can see it from your hotel room also, but we did not get an opportunity because of the clouds and all. But yeah, we got an opportunity to go by jeep and explore that area. And again, when you're doing this, or there was a lot that probably was going in my head about the place, about all that was happening around, um, and what can we take it, when I say take it spiritually, what can I absorb? What can I, uh, become a can become a part of me? So we went to a couple of, there was a bunker, there was ash, there was a museum. We did all of that. And then we saw a white owl. So there were these pair of owls sitting, in one of the places. And recently, me and my daughter, we've been seeing a lot of Harry Potter and, Hedwig. And so she bought a white owl, and we, so we were all taking pictures. And then Suvita said, "Aapko picture khichani hai." And then, I was like, okay. So my daughter was very afraid initially, and then probably, um, obviously, it's a wild bird. So I had it on my hand, and then I was just thinking that uh, it's kind of a synchronicity of all the things, you saw a white owl, and that white owl was very cooperative. There was a brown one also, but the brown one was a bit, you know, uh, not okay, interacting with people. So it's like, cues. So some things, it's just like little cues that were happening. And then again, we saw two more owls. So a lot of owls. And I was just thinking, it's related with wisdom. It's related with, um, you know, so many things it means. So, but yeah, I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And then the second part of it was a beach, and it's called the Pangriatis Beach, I guess. Yeah. So we were told that this beach, basically, there is a goddess. Uh, so whether you remember the name? Rakupidul. Um, huh?
Ratu. Ratu.
Ratupidul, yeah, like that. There was this.
Yeah.
Ratu Pitan.
Ha.
Mhm.
So this goddess takes care. So it's the Indian Ocean, basically. So she takes care of the south side of Indonesia. So we had this beautiful ride to the beach, and the waters were very rough, very rough. Like it was fierce. It was not a very calm beach. It was a fierce beach, and we had a jeep ride, and then we did a great invocation there. And that is where, kind of the connection started building up with the place, after doing actually we did in Mirapi also, the great invocation at the alien rock, right, Sumita? So yeah, we did our first great invocation at Mirapi at the so there's this rock, it's called Batu alien, which means a moving
Batu Eli.
Batu alien, which means a moving rock, and it looked like a alien face, and it was a huge rock. So we did a meditation there first, and then yeah, um, we kind of started setting up our agenda, you know, slowly and gradually of being in Indonesia. Then we went to this beach and we meditated there, and we saw sunset. Right. And it was just amazing, the sound of the beach, and the entire canvas that was, spread in front of you. It's a huge beach, and big waves, a lot of noise of the ocean, and sunset, and an expansive beach. So clean, expansive beach, and just, you did your great invocation and you stood in the water. And those of you, you know about pranic healing. Beach, again, is a lot of cleansing. So, being in that atmosphere, in that breeze, in that salt. water. It was very, very cleansing and healing. Ratu Ki Dul, maybe that's the name. So yeah, we could feel the presence of the beings and all. It's like, yeah, it was beautiful. And then the next day we did not know what to do, and then again we connected with the driver. And so there's um when I had booked for this retreat, I was looking for a lot of hotels. Okay, and then Instagram generously started throwing up some searches. So there was this a beautiful property called Amanjivo, which started showing in my uh, you can say thread, and I opened it up, and there I saw that there is this blessing ritual that can be done by a local shaman there. And that's how I know that, okay, there's an opportunity, or, one can meet a shaman, local shaman there. So I just thought about it, and I had it in me. I don't know. So मतलब मैंने इससे पहले आपको शेयर किया था क्या शमन से मिलने का?
Yes, before going for trip,
हाँ, उससे पहले. Okay. So, but
but we have already booked the
trip.
hotel,
Yeah.
yeah, and everything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we have to meet one someone. We have decided that it was there in the mind,
Yeah. So I
and
had
we
that.
started planting that thought in our driver.
So interestingly, so next day we did not have an agenda. Uh, we did have, but I think वो cave and all did not work out. So morning में we just asked him that I asked him, if do you know about the I think पहले ही पूछ लिया था, and he had that, he knew कि he know that some person exists. So interesting part was he did not know much of English. We did not know much of Indonesian, but we were doing our conversation, and everything that we were doing, we were getting answers. I don't know how. हम कैसे समझ रहे थे और वो कैसे हमें समझा रहा था. It is like, amazing, just amazing how that was happening. So we told him, we want to meet this shaman, and he said, "Okay, I know somebody." Like I'm telling you, this is what I'm like telling on his behalf, but ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं. हमने उसे बोला और वो हमें ले गया. So he took us to this village, and he said that, a lot of people come in, and they have to take appointment, but probably it'll, if we go directly, we will not, like, it'll be like an ad hoc thing, and if there is nobody, we'll get to be there with him. Now this shaman also doesn't speak English. We don't understand Indonesian, and our driver was like a kacha pakka English. So we came in, and he sat with us, and he gave us a brief background about the shaman, that this guy probably he did not have one eye. So it's like during his childhood days, because he had that problem, people did not treat him well, and so he invested all his energies in um, in connecting with God and working on himself. And that's how he became a shaman, or you can say dukun. That's what they call it in Indonesia, dukun. So that Amanjivo, from there I got this word dukun, and I could explain him, shaman. And he said, "What shaman?" I said, "Healer." He said, "What healer?" Then I said, "Dukun." Okay. Then he said, "Okay, okay. Probably I'll try to get you somebody." So we were there sitting and, talking to this person. I don't know if it qualifies talking, but he was talking in Indonesia. We were, comfortable in English. And this driver of ours was a mediator, and, sharing that information. So, yeah, like, the way people come to me and I do their analysis and, understand their energy, their issues. It was a similar session. So it felt very right to me. And again, we are like four women, so three women, one 9-year-old, and we are with this driver in Indonesia whom we met a day before, and we agreed to go to this village, interesting village. And yeah, and we have this session with him. probably around 3 hours to 2.5 to 3 hours, where we all get a chance to talk to him. And then, interestingly, he brings a crystal for me, and I'm like, okay. So I took it with gratitude, and I was told that he has meditated a lot with that crystal, and it will be very helpful for me. And it was a smoky quartz, and it's a protection stone. We all know it's a protection stone, and so I took it graciously, and then probably he had very nice things to say about my daughter also, and I listened. Okay, and so the way they do healing is, with mother, so they connect with your mother. So you have to give your mother's name. And with Samira, like the mother was sitting there only. So for us, it was like three generations. So my mother, me, and Samira. So we had the session with the Dukun, and probably she did not understand much. But yeah, it was. So he gave one crystal for me and one crystal for my daughter. And then again, some conversation happening that we need to go to the place where he does his spiritual work. So they have this beautiful place, not a beautiful place, but yeah, you can say it's a small jungle kind of a setup where they do their prayers. Now, Indonesia is a Muslim country. We are Hindus, and again, Dukun, it was more of energy work. So this guy, they were praying to these rock like. So I said, yeah, we'll go. So we went, we trekked to that place together, three of us, along with Samira and the driver and the Dukun. We went there, and it looked a bit tricky because it was a huge rock and a lot of jungle kind of a trek. But we went there, and we did the great invocation there, and he joined us as well. So it was interesting. And then he said, we want to have a picture with you. So we had a picture with him as well. Uh, but again, it's like somebody talking or somebody just telling that, yeah, this is right, you need to go there. It felt right. And yeah, we went there and we did this meditation. And again, the great invocation, plus, it's a group work that we were doing. So it was just amazing. And the rock structure was also amazing, quite high vibrational in the nature. And then we left. And while we were on the way, it was raining heavily. And it seemed that it had been raining for a long time. But we trekked that entire thing with no sight of rain. There was no rain. So Sumitra was saying, लगता है इसमें यहाँ पे, हुई है, but there was no rain when we were there. And probably it would not have been possible had it been raining, because obviously it was not a very kind terrain. So it was just amazing how all of that happened. And I was just grateful, because I had this thing in my mind that I have to meet somebody like that. And then in the evening, we had to go to this Paramban temple. So in my head, Paramban, I was just thinking, why have they named it Paramban? And when we reached there, probably it was like three shrines. So you had one Shiva temple, then you had a Brahma temple and a Vishnu temple. So it was like a trinity. And again, we reached inside and saw, like for me, it was Shiva, standing Shiva, holding the planet Earth. And I've never seen an old temple with a Shiva statue, standing Shiva statue all alone. I've never seen, like, it's always the lingam in the form of shivling, but वैसा नहीं था बिल्कुल भी. And it had a different energy to it. So we stood there, did a bit of Om chanting. We came out. Um, I think the second one was, second temple was, so the second वाला कौन सा था? It was Ganesh ji, yeah.
No,
Agast,
inside that there were
Agast.
five temples.
Vishnagastya. Second one was Rishi Agastya. So I've never seen Rishi Agastya temple, but in that structure itself, you had Rishi Agastya, and then you had Ganeshji, and then the last one was Durga Ma, and that was also standing Durga, and it had such mesmerizing eyes. And then Shivali just, made us stand. So she just said, Sargam, just come and stand and look into the eyes of the goddess. And it was amazing, there was so much magnetism, attraction in those eyes that you could just feel the presence of the divine feminine, the Devi. It's just so beautiful. So we stood there, took blessings, and then we went to the Vishnu temple. Again, that Vishnu temple, Vishnu temple was like, one Vishnu ji ki murti, and the same Vishnu ji ki murti is at my place. So, uh, like, it was amazing. When I saw it, I was like, okay. So when I was small, I think 7, 8 years old, then my dad had bought that. It was a huge 2 foot Vishnuji, similar to what was there in the temple. So it was amazing. But by the time we finished, Brahma temple was closed, so we could not go to the Brahma thing. But we did. We sat down, and there was this beautiful silence that you could observe. Tranquility. It was not silence, but it was so serene and tranquil. And we got an again opportunity to do the great invocation there, and we did the great invocation. We did some chanting, and it was just beautiful.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Yeah, we did the Om Namah Shivaya chanting and just amazing. It was just beautiful. But if you think about the stillness, you can again teleport. Now, an interesting thing that happened is we all took a photograph just beside. So, there was this Shiva temple, and at the stairway of the Shiva temple, we got these trainees as guides. So they made us stand in a corner, and that corner had a small temple like structure. So when I came back yesterday, I was just reading about this temple, and I was like, that Paramban thing, it was like, so this temple is like a square structure, and when you have two diagonals meet, it meets at that point of the small temple like structure, which is outside of the Shiva temple. And when we were going or just entering, we saw some people doing worship at that corner, but we did not pay attention. We went upstairs because और बहुत भीड़ थी तो हमें लाइन में खड़ा होना था. तो हमने देखा, मैंने भी देखा, पता नहीं शिवाली और आपने देखा सुमिता, वहां पे एक पूजा हो रही थी. डू यू
हाँ
रिमेम्बर?
देखा, with rose flowers they were doing
करेक्ट.
puja.
तो हम लोग जब निकल के जब हमने बाद में फोटो लिए तो हम उसी जगह पे खड़े हुए थे.
Okay.
सो वो जो डायगोनल मिलता है, दैट इज द टेम्पल जहां पे कोई मूर्ति नहीं है. सो इट्स अ स्मॉल टेम्पल, एंड दे से दैट जहां वो वर्शिप करते, दैट्स कॉल्ड, दैट्स द पारा ब्रह्मन. सो इट डज नॉट हैव एनी फॉर्म. एक चौकी सी है अंदर, एंड इट्स लाइक इतना बड़ा स्ट्रक्चर होगा उसके अंदर चौकी, बट नो नो आइडल. So it's like, you have the Trinity, and you have the all pervasive God, that जिनको हम पारा ब्रह्मन कहते हैं, just outside. So most of the people there, they do not do puja inside. They do puja only to that little shrine. And वो perfectly उस edge or like diagonal के center पे है. तो हमें पता नहीं था, but we stood there. So I went back to my pictures and I checked, and it was the same. So a lot of things. You feel attracted to, you feel. So but बाद में सारा logic समझ में आता. So yeah, so Parambanan basically is para Brahman. So yeah, it got distorted to Parambanan, but it is para Brahman. So yeah, it's amazing how we could. So a lot of blessings there. And then we went to see the beautiful Ramayana ballet, which was also, you know, part of our program. We booked earlier, so we could do that. And then third day, we did not have much to do. We had to go back to Solo. So we started off late, and then there was this temple, Sukko temple, that we wanted to do. In fact, our driver was pretty, he said that we should do that temple. It's a very old temple. And So around 2:30 we left and everybody said it would be closed. And then I asked my driver, क्या लगता है आपको? Will it be closed or we can do it? He said, no, we'll do it. And then Sumita was like, अब late हो जाएगा. But then, when everybody, the best part in this trip was nobody had anything to question. Like, क्यों कर रहे हो? Nobody had that thing. क्यों जा रहे हैं? No resistance. It was everything like, let's go with the flow. So this was the best thing. So we could do so much. So सुको वो तो हम वहां कब गए थे? रिवर कब गए थे? बुरोपुत्र वाले थे. Okay. Yeah. So we went to, so he just drove. So we 2:30 we left. The drive was 3.5 hours. So he said around 6 o'clock we will be able to reach the temple. Everybody was saying the temple closes at 4, and somebody said it closes at 5. But he said we will go. And we said, okay, we will go. So he took us and kind of very focused driving. He did not speak to us only, we were just driving, driving, driving so that we could reach there on time. But yeah, time kafi because it was far from Yogyakarta. It was on the way to Solo. So a lot of traffic. We saw a lot of traffic, and he said, no, we'll do that temple. And we also wanted to see some sunset. And, it was right up a hill, Lavu, a place, I think. So it was Lavu Hill. So it was very like on the top of, perched on top of a hill. So a lot of clouds on the way. So no sight of sun. And it was getting darker and darker and darker. And we're like, okay. And we reached there around 5:35, 5:35-ish. And we got off the car, and Sumita, I think, was the first one to see the sunset. And then she said, Sargam, we can see the sunset. And I was like, oh my God. So we tried to capture it with the camera, but it was so beautiful. I've never seen such a beautiful sunset, in such a picturesque setting on top of a mountain. And there were some, trees through which you could see the sunset. And it was just like, picture perfect. And we saw the entire sunset, and we were at that temple. And when I turned back at the temple, that temple looked like a Incan. So if you've seen Peru, when you see, so it was that structure, made in a very different style. And we were like, okay. So I just looked back and I was like, okay, this is going to be amazing. And I had no idea where will we meditate in that temple, because it looked so different. But anyways, we completed the sunset part, just absorbed everything. And then we saw that guy who was doing the tickets, he, was able to give us the tickets. And then we entered the temple. And by the time, my mind was trying to figure out what are we going to do here? I see my daughter sitting on, so just outside that temple, there were these huge flat spaces, which were like, as a tortoise. So you had three tortoise placed, one on the right, one on the left, and one just in the center of the, um, you know, doorway of that temple. And my daughter went and sat on one. And then I saw this guy, driver, going, and then Sumita following, and then Shivali following. And by the time I could figure out, this person was on top of that temple. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And then he sat there, and then I understood that, we have to meditate on the top. And then we all went upstairs. We sat there, and the view from that top of the temple was just so amazing. We were already on the hill, and then on top of that structure, and the sky was so clear. You're sleeping there? Yeah, yeah, so okay. So we went on top of that structure, we sat there, and then we did the great. This guy said that he also wants to meditate with us. Then we said, okay, and then we started the meditation, and we did the meditation together. And while we were doing the meditation, Piche se we got this moon coming up, and it was just, and there was, so we are in a Muslim country, and while we are meditating, we have the azan, coinciding with every meditation that we are doing. So just, uh, the entire thing fills, the energy gets filled with so much, you can say,
And
positivity.
we are the only people.
Sorry?
We are the only people. There are no other person.
Yeah, and in that entire temple, it's just the five of us, just five people. कोई भी नहीं वहाँ पे. And we got so much time to sit, meditate, chant, and then take a picture or two. And while we were, deciding to go down, we have this 20 people group coming and, howling and screaming and then just barging in the temple. And I was like, my God, it felt as if, they were just stopped from entering the temple, or, they were just made to wait till the time we finished. It was just so amazing, just um, at a different level altogether. So all of that absorbed. So, I'll be doing the meditation. Probably there's so much to share. And then, next day we had, and after that we went back to our hotel, and, we could feel a parting thing from that driver also, who had been, like, we were calling him Hanumanji, because, he was just taking us everywhere we wanted to go. So it was lovely bond that we developed, with that person. He knowing what we want to do and then taking us where we want to. Then the last thing that was remaining was, I wanted to go to that hotel which came, in my feed again and again, Amanjivo. So we had this trip planned with the entire Arhatic people. So a big group. We had like 4 buses going for that, and we went to Borobudur, and we called our driver there around 1:30 that, once you come, we want to go to Amanjivo. And from Amanjivo, probably the guidance was to go to the river. It's called Progo. So I knew that in Amanjivo, they were doing this blessing ritual in the river. So again, when I'm telling you, it's like somebody speaking, but there is no one speaking, somebody understanding, but not that, I knew the name of the river or nothing. I just knew that there is a water body that goes through this place, and we have to go and we have to meditate there also. But the first thing is we have to go to Amanjivo. And so we completed our Borobudur tour. It was extremely hot that day. But we did our great invocation and prayers there also. My daughter was like, I'm about to faint, Mama. It was really hot, but yeah, we did that. And then we said bye bye to our group, and the driver was there, and we sat in the car, and he said we can go to Amanjivo, and it. He said that it is one of the most expensive places there. So they had a protocol. You had to spend a certain amount in order to enter that property. So when we started entering, he gave us a list, a price list, that this is the amount that you need to spend per person, and then you can enter the property. And I was like, yeah, okay. And so, we went there, and we really didn't want to eat or anything, but I wanted to do a prosperity kind of, you know, a ritual for prosperity. We do the blessings and we exchange the blessings with the prosperity devas. So we went to the restaurant. There again, this lady came in and she said, okay, even to have coffee, you'll have to spend a certain amount. So I said, yeah, yeah. And then we started talking to that woman, and, the entry was magnificent. And in front of the entry, you had Temple of Borobudur from the top. And it was just a different vibe altogether. And we stood there and we spoke. The name of the lady was Dia. And we had this conversation, and then she left us there. She also told about the river. So she said that there is this river, that you can go. And I was like, okay. I got a validation about the river. Okay, this is possible. Although I feel the driver had already had it in his agenda, because I told him the previous day. And so, yeah, we did the prosperity blessings and left from there to the river. And the river was, again, a different level of adventure altogether. One way, and we had no idea even if the car can, take a turn to come back. But yeah, we went all the way down, and then we got a parking space, and then there was this boat which looked like a mat, and there was nobody there also. Nobody, just five of us. And then all of a sudden, two people came up with poles, and we had a boat ride. And then I told the driver that I want to go to the other side. There a particular place where I want to go and we want to meditate. And he said, yeah, yeah, we'll make it possible. And then we went there and we meditated together again. And it was done. And again, nobody there. It's like, you feel like you are in a dream or something. Nobody apart from us, and we could just have that entire river to ourselves. And then, while coming back, we could see a couple of people, but during that time, it was just us and the boatmen, two boatmen. And we meditated there, and so, the entire. So before the retreat, there was so much that happened, and we could all assimilate all that and then enter the retreat. And then we had a powerful session in the retreat also, beautifully done. And again, all of this happening with my daughter, I had my little one also along with me in all of this journey. And I could just be grateful as to, how, so no fear, so much assurance. Sometimes you don't even trust your own people, right? It happens. But here we were trusting this driver and um, knowing that everything will be done somewhere, back of the head. Nobody, no questions, nothing. I had that so sure. And it was just amazing how all of this happened. And so I thought, I will I will do a special blessing today with all of you, uh, getting all of that energy together. Maybe I'll have to write a couple of blogs, because every day is like an adventure, a spiritual adventure of its own. But yeah, it's good to share so that, that energy assimilates. And again, I have an account of it. So any questions? And then we'll do a blessing. Shivali, Sumita, anything that I've missed?
In retreat, we had this water purification and fire purification.
Yeah, water and fire purification as well. So much happened. Yeah. So it was beautiful. We got a seat just, behind the acharyas, and even, Shivali could make it. And it was like a very intimate setup in Indonesia. Just felt, you just felt part of a family. So it was very beautiful doing the retreat together this time. I think for Sumita and Shivali, it's their first retreat outside of India, so all the more special. Yeah. So a lot of synchronicities, a lot of things, which probably even my family cannot understand. So it's a good thing to come and share with you guys. Probably, I don't know how much of it is making sense, but yeah, it's just beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Uh, So when I'm saying we don't know Indonesian and they don't know proper English, and still there was a communication and there was no communication gap. It's just amazing how, like, what was the mode of your speaking and their understanding, and um, things happening. So even when I'm talking about the Dukun, it's like I did not know what he's speaking, but he saw at me, I saw him, and we could exchange a conversation. So like it came through the driver, but there was so much that it got transferred, just by seeing each other. So it's just amazing. Yeah. Shivani.
And that someone told that he had dreamed that the three will come and meet him 3 months back.
Yeah.
He told.
So you already told that we will be there. And then, there's this one crystal that I work with a lot. It's called lapis lazuli. So he was trying to tell that he's hearing about this crystal. And I think he did not know about this crystal, na, Sumita? So he was saying lapis lazuli. And I said, okay, I get it. So, yeah, it's just interesting.
Regarding communication, after second day, Sargam started talking with Dirman in Hindi. And he will understand, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, probably I knew that language, it's not the language that we are understanding. It's just that, you know, I don't know how we are communicating. So पहले तो English थोड़ा बहुत he could understand, and then probably Hindi. So I'm sure, we could just see and laugh and, just yes, no, that kind of communication. Everything happened in that communication, but I can speak, like I can put words to it. So even when the shaman is not speaking, I can put words to what he was trying to say, what we were understanding. So it was amazing. Abhishek, am I making sense? I don't know.
Yes, I can understand that.
Seriously, matlab,
Everything falls in
yeah,
the right time.
matlab meeting a shaman or somebody like that, it's like, it's very unlikely to have that kind of an access in a
Correct.
in a in a in a place where you know nothing about. Okay, so let's do a blessing. So close your eyes to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the great great ones, holy gurus, holy master saints, archangels, holy angels, especially to the angel of Java, to the angel that presides or takes care of the country, the beings and the nature devas. Also, we invoke for the blessings of all the ancestors that were along with us during this trip, and to all of your higher beings and spirit guides, angels, and higher souls. And with deep reverence to my teacher, Master Choa Koksui, Lord Mahaguru Chimere, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Thank you to the Trinity and the energies of the Parabrahman, that we could humbly be in the presence. Although we are too small to understand what has shifted, we are too insignificant in the larger schemes of life. But we are super receptive to your grace. And may this grace take care of us at all levels. May we all be healed of our past hurts. May we be healed of our lineage, our karmas, and all that our conscious, subconscious knows, does not know. May all of those energies be also healed by just being in alignment and tunement with the energies of this trip. Deep gratitude, tremendous respect, and lots of love. We thank you all in full faith. So be it. So be it. So it is. Just be still, be aware. Be aware of the fire energies of the Mount Mirapi, the fire element. And just allow the energies of this fire element to burn any negativity within your system. Be aware of this energy going all the way down from the top of your head, doing a cleansing, a deep cleansing at all levels. Just say thank you. Super receptive, super conductive. Thank you for disintegrating anything that is not serving our highest good. Thank you in full faith. Now be aware of the energy of water at this beautiful beach, Parangritis, and the presence of the guardian deity, Ratu Kidul, the goddess of the sea, Indian Ocean. Be aware of the soothing, healing energies of the salt water or the great Indian Ocean, cleansing, healing every cell of your body. Just say, I'm super receptive and super conductive to the blessings. Thank you. Now gently be aware of the earth energy that we experienced at this beautiful big rock. Be aware of all the nature devas, the elementals that we walked through, climbed up to reach this place. And be aware of this beautiful structure, 3 rocks, big rocks. Be aware of their energy, the earth energy. And just feel this energy grounding you into the Mother Earth, connecting you, anchoring you into the Mother Earth. Just mentally say thank you to the nature beings, to the elementals, the higher elementals, and the earth element. And be aware of this anchoring energy, cleansing, healing, especially your basic chakra and sacral chakra. Just say I'm super receptive, super conductive to these energies, and I'm integrating the blessings within my system with deep gratitude, tremendous respect, and lots of love. We thank you. We thank you. Also, we call upon our individual totem animals or our spirit guides in the form of animals. I call upon this beautiful being, the white owl, symbol of wisdom and purity. Just be aware of the presence of this totem, a guardian, bringing profound wisdom and healing. So be aware of the presence, be aware that this beautiful being, the white owl, we are in its presence and it's sharing its ancient wisdom, healing with all of us. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, gently be aware of the energy that we experience in the Parambanan temple complex. Be aware of the energy of the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And be aware of the Trinity within you. And anchor these energies deeply into each and every cell of your body. May the energies balance our life, our existence. So be it. So be it. So it is. Now slowly and gently lift up these energies from the heart to the crown, all the way up higher and higher. And be aware of a ocean of golden energy where everything is one. There is no trinity. There is one. There is unity. And be aware of the energy of the Para Brahman, the one, the all pervasive, all present. God, we are all one. We are one. We are one. We are one with God. We are a child of God. Thank you. Be aware of this energy that we experience in the Sukho temple, the energy of creativity, higher creativity, the energy or the seat of Kundalini energy. Be aware of the energies rising up as a coiled serpent from the base of our spine, going all the way up, up, up to the top of our head, and then merging with the divine or spiritual energy. Be aware of this beautiful marriage of the divine energy and the Kundalini energy. Gently ascending the spine, going all the way up to the crown. Thank you. Deep gratitude, tremendous respect, and lots of love. We thank you all in full faith. Be aware of the descent of the divine energy, gently taming the Kundalini energy and helping it settle where it is required to. Thank you. In full faith. So be it. Now gently be aware of the energy of the Borobudur temple. Be aware of the angel of Java, which resides in this beautiful, massive structure. Be aware of the crystalline energy. Be aware of your aura. Be aware of diamond-like energy of Borobudur. And be aware that your aura is being magnetized by this diamond-like energy. Just mentally say, I assimilate these blessings and energies in my aura. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the love, light, and power. Thank you so much for healing me, guiding me, and blessing me with your grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and full faith. So be it. So it is. Now be aware of the energies in the Prabhu River. Be aware of your connection, your roots, some roots connected with this land. And just call upon the blessings of your ancestors and just say, you're all blessed. All of you, please go in light. May all of you be purified. May all of you be released of your pain and suffering. Please go in peace. May you merge with light. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Put your hands in the blessing position and be aware of the connection the previous incarnation connection, past life connection with this land of Indonesia. And we'll just bless ourselves and our entire lineage, or even our past lives, all of us, all versions of us that have existed in any timelines and have been part of this beautiful land. May all of us be blessed, healed, and relieved of our pain and suffering. Even though we don't know and we don't have the awareness, may it work at our superconscious level, so be it. We give permission. May this healing happen across all time, dimensions, space, and reality. So be it. So be it. So it is. We will chant Om 3 times and bless each one of us. Om. 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 May all of you be divinely blessed by the love, light, and power of God. So be it. So be it. So be it. So it is. Tathastu. You can open your eyes. The big broad smile. There's so much to this trip. With आप ये सोचो एक छोटे से में I've just put everything together. अभी भी इतनी सारी चीजें अरे ये छूट गया, अरे ये छूट गया. But yeah, फिर इसके बाद और दिन बात करती तो probably I would have missed something. So I thought it's good way. Okay. So may God bless you, and I'm sure all of us being here together has its own purpose. Um, Otherwise you would not have spared your 1.5 hours with me. So just journal anything that you feel has come into your mind, and yeah, I'll connect with you again. So thank you for being a part of this session tonight, and lots more coming up. Okay, good night. And you can share with me if something came, with respect to this place that resonated with you and you joined this. Amit, I'm like connecting with you after a long time. Balaji, Rupa. Okay, so do share. Bye. Good night.
Okay.